for late night curling. It's the 10:15 p.m. draw, which actually is going to get off surprisingly close to 10:15. This game will be Kriz versus Robinson. We don't yet know who's which color. We don't yet know who's got the hammer. They are shaking hands right now, getting ready to flip a coin. So we got the lineups for you. For the Robinson rink, skipped by Mark Robinson out of Pittsburgh. The vice is Courtney Shaw. The second is Melvin Shaw. The lead is Brian Stewart. They're all from Potomac. Actually, I'm sorry, Brian is not. The Shaws are from Potomac. Brian Stewart is also from Pittsburgh, I believe.
That sounds right.
They're playing the Kriz team, skipped by Mike Kriz. Second is John Gibbons. I'm sorry, the vice is John Gibbons. The second is John Larson. And the lead is Don Malner. Something to note, the Kriz rink just won the Dykes. For those of you who may or may not be familiar, of course, if you're following this, you are. The Dykes is the GNCC Under 5 Championship, so it's usually very hotly contested, and if you come through and win that, you're not a bad curling team. So they are doing their pre-warm-up slides. We'll be throwing the first rock here in just 1 second. Looks like Robinson will be throwing first, and they have red. So Robinson has red, Kriz has yellow, and the first end hammer. And I have been informed to say, hello, Mrs. Robinson. I won't sing any songs about Joe DiMaggio or anything, but your son says, hey, how's it going? Good to have you here. All right, we're underway. The first stone by Brian Stewart is heading down the ice. I believe Mark asked for it to be kind of a 12-foot biter or a 3-guard on the center line.
I was going to say it looks heavier than that. It does look heavier than that. It's about maybe a T-line back 4.
No, or perhaps top 8.
Or top 8. Top 8's a good spot.
So for those of you who may not have been watching any action on this sheet recently, the sheet's been playing relatively clean going down here in the odd ends. Coming home in the even ends, there is a lot of curl breaking from the right to the left. Kriz's first stone, they were asking to peel that out. Unfortunately, they flashed by it on the outside. For those of you who are watching also, we remind you that we have the chat stream open. If you want to care to ask any questions, request any updates, or particular attention on particular sheets, we will attempt to update you on that stuff as best we can. So you know the action on the other sheets. On sheet A B event semifinal, is Stepera versus Hewer. Both of those teams were actually just on the ice in 2 draws ago. Both won their games to advance to here. Our game on sheet B is Kriz versus Robinson. On sheet C, we have the dreaded late-night Potomac death match, Enixon versus Mulvey. And sheet D is Buffington versus Baguette. Those C and D games are actually quarterfinals in the C event. Those teams, the losers of all of these games are done. The winners on A and B, they're in the B semifinals, so they'll be contesting the B final at noon tomorrow if they win. Over there on C and D, this is a quarterfinal in the C event, so they're fighting for the right to come back at 9 a.m. tomorrow and play a semi. Not really sure that's a prize, but they'll fight for it anyhow. Not sure which button I am. All right, so Robinson's second, throwing his first rock. guarding all that up. Current situation, there's a that first stone is still very much there. And it's now very well guarded, if I do say so myself. It's sitting there full 8, and it's covered by a red guard and a yellow guard, and there's another red guard in play.
Yeah, that's a good spot if you're trying to steal one in the first hand. And that's
John Larson's attempting to move some of that. He's going to get at least one gone. Actually, he splits out 2. Well, one of them doesn't really go away, but goes enough away. So now, instead of being behind a red and 2 yellows, or 2 reds and a yellow, he's behind 2 yellows. However, Robinson Stone is still shot. So this is John Larson's second stone.
Oh,
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's Melvin Shaw. I'm sorry. I got my teams mixed up. His second stone.
He looks like he's just drawing in here.
And they're sweeping hard.
It's going to be a guard.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a deliberate guard or not. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, actually, that probably was. They maybe wanted more over the yellows to block a raise, but that does block one of the avenues to take out that red shot rock.
Just hit.
I'm just not used to watching Courtney and Melvin and have them be in the middle of a team.
Yeah, that's very peculiar. I trying to think of the last time I saw Melvin not skipping.
Or Courtney, actually.
Well, Courtney in their mixed team with Melvin, Courtney and
right.
Vices. So, seeing Courtney in a vice role is not unusual. Melvin stepping down to 2, that's unusual. So that Yellowstone clears through the house, doing no damage. So Courtney Shaw delivering her first stone of the game. Yeah, successfully. And looks like she's guarding up the other approach.
Yeah, Robinson made that call as for a guard. Courtney mentioned that she was comfortable with some kind of come around. They did settle on just guarding. Seems fine to me. You're set up really well for that steal.
Exactly.
Not a lot of ways to get that red rock out of there.
Well, there are some, but they involve pretty much what he's calling, which is a boom, boom, boom. So time to see how much weight John Gibbons possesses.
That's kind of a personal question to ask.
The answer to the question, at least judging from coming out of the hack, is a respectable quantity.
Oh yeah, he threw that pretty hard.
That's about 10 seconds hog to hog. And boom, boom, no, not boom, 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 just boom. And so now the phalanx in front is 3 yellow stones, but the one that matters is the red, still up in the top of the 8 that was thrown. It's the very first shot of this game. Courtney still likes the draw. I offered the skips to Mike's, and all of a sudden I'm realizing, it's a good thing they didn't take him because we can hear Courtney just fine. So she's actually getting to throw the draw this time. Melvin's on it, but that's just a clean. Oh, now they're sweeping it.
That is coming in a good bit.
That's going to take that. No, it's
guard.
not. It's not around the high guard. It doesn't hurt a thing.
No, it didn't open anything up. Robinson was
Not
worried
at all.
about opening it up, but it doesn't open it up. In fact, closes it up a good bit
Yeah,
more.
that's now 4 stones,
Yeah.
5 stones. 5 stones in front of that shot stone. Well, one of them's like kind of in front of it. 4 stones very definitely in front of it. If that red stone's not there at the end of the end, I'll be amazed. So Okay, looks like we're playing a draw game now for John Gibbons. See how well he can do that, go from a high hit to a draw.
Pretty good line, but
through the house.
Yeah.
So Mark Robinson preparing to throw his first. Mark Robinson getting ready to throw his first stone.
When you get to skips rocks and your instinct is put up a guard, something's gone pretty well for you in the end.
Yeah. And judging from Courtney's broom, that's what he's doing. So, I mean, there is enough room there for...
Oh, there's plenty of room around that if he wants to put another one in.
Yeah, exactly.
He definitely doesn't want to put it in and wide, though.
No. So all of our games are still in the first end. Some of them are getting fairly close to conclusion here, however, of the first end. Robinson throwing his first stone now. Courtney called him on the sweep pretty quick. Is it a weight call or is it a line call?
I think it's a weight call. It's got plenty of room to get around the guards. They definitely don't want it any wider. Now I think they're just letting it settle in there as a low guard.
Yeah, that's exactly
that's
what
fine.
they're
It
doing.
just narrows that, or it just makes Robinson's draw go out that much further around.
Yeah.
Which means he's probably not going to get to touch any of the forefoot.
So now we're looking at Mike Kriz's.
Well, that's what I meant by Kriz. Robinson is the one who just threw that.
Yes. So Kriz is getting ready to throw his first.
The one who will have to throw very wide.
Right. Okay.
And yes, the broom is out there very wide, borrowing a cup of ice from his neighbor on sheet C there.
Yeah, you know, it's a friendly thing.
Sweepers are on it most of the way as it gets over the hog line. But he just had to throw it so far out there into the weeds that it's just...
Yeah. Particularly with first end weight, or first end ice.
It isn't in the worst spot, and that he could probably tap that up with the hammer as another option, unless Robinson does something about it right now.
Which I'm sure he's considering. Honestly, I might just be tempted to just kind of throw another guard up here, take that, put something in front of that yellow stone so that there's no viable raise. Take my steal of one, and move on to the second end. Because honestly, that's a good set. It's a good win.
Yeah, I mean that's what we've been seeing. Yeah, I mean we saw it a lot at like the Olympics. You know, the sort of traditional knowledge or textbook or however you want to phrase it, when you don't have the hammer, is to put up something on the center line. You know, a tight guard, But during the Olympics, what we saw a lot of was teams drawing for about the top 8. I mean, it's not as good as the guard in that it doesn't have that protection of the free guard zone. But it doesn't mean the other team can't draw behind it. There's no room behind it.
Yeah.
And then if you protect it later, like they've done here, you get that rock at the top 8, and if a couple rocks later it's still there, you just build a big pile.
So basically, what he did was he built a little pile up there. Actually, I think he tapped his red in. Tapped.
Does not look like it's biting.
No, not quite. You're right.
But it's just another danger. Actually, it's in the way. He sort of knocked it behind the yellow. So the angle raise to shot really isn't there anymore.
That's true. You're absolutely correct. So short of a boom to... Ugh.
If I had, a computer model, I think I could come up with a way to use all 3 of those guards in the center to put one of them into the house. But I don't know that the angles are there with the weight you would have to throw it.
It looks like he's just planning on drawing out to the outer edge of the sheet. Because, really, he's got lots of room. All he's got to do is get a little deeper than full 8.
Full 8 is pretty good.
And he is, like we were saying before, he's borrowing some ice from sheet A. Sweepers are definitely getting a workout here.
Yeah, they're trying to shake off all that sort of first-end frost.
And they did not get there. So Robinson steals 1 to go up 1-0.
Other games, we've got on sheet C. We've got
versus
Nixon. Looks like he stole 2 against Mulvey.
Yep.
And over on D, we've got Buffington stole 2 against Baggett.
Yes, assuming that hammer indicator's right.
Right.
And sheet A just hung. Hewer took 1 against Stapera. No. I'm sorry. Yeah, no. Yep. Hewer did take 1 against Stapera. So all of these games finished the first end about pretty much on pace.
Yeah.
15 minutes. Yep, that's pretty much right on. Robinson's calling for basically a guard right on the mixed doubles mark there.
The right weight, not exactly on the center line, but for all intents and purposes,
within rounding error.
That's a center line guard.
Yeah,
it's touching the center line.
I've seen worse. I've thrown worse. Looks like the stereotypical. We're going to go for corner guard here by Don Malner from Team Kriz.
Yep. Those looks like they're being a little careful. They don't want to get it into the house, but they're going to wait when they're sure it's short. They're going to drag it down. That's a nice tight corner guard.
Yep. So we're playing this one by the book.
And now draw behind the center guard is the call for Robinson.
Line looks fine here. Plenty of room on the guard. How's the stone going to finish?
It looks like it's on the heavy side, but no, that's going to settle in nicely.
A little deep in the tee. Back 8 actually. And actually it curled to expose on the other side even a little bit. Not much. But Kriz is choosing to use his guard.
That's coming over hard. It looks like he might get some contact on his guard.
They're trying like heck to keep it straight.
It's not a lot of contact, but it's... Oh, it didn't contact.
It did not. It snuck past.
No, I think it...
No, it had to.
It
must have brushed.
It
must have brushed.
It didn't
change the rotation
guard at all,
too.
but it just enough to...
Yeah, just
enough
that
it stopped drilling
drag.
Behind. Yeah.
It got caught in the gravitational field for a moment.
Yeah, air currents swirling around the stone.
Yeah, there you go. The Bernoulli effect, right? Is that what how that goes?
Coriolis
Coriolis?
principal came in there, yeah.
Okay,
With
sure.
the rotation of the house.
You know how long ago it was I took physics?
Probably longer than me. I mean,
Yes, I'm old. What's your point? I don't even know. They were still trying to figure out if Newton's laws were accurate when I was in school.
oh.
They weren't sure yet. The Earth was still flat. Rocks were in beta. Robinson looking to chip out that yellow, and I'm not sure he got it. No, he didn't. So actually, that yellow was put in a perfect location.
Yeah, that's.
So now Mike Kriz is in business.
Yeah, I mean, he's got his.
Is he really peeling that? He's calling the peel. Well, who might argue he won the dikes? I never I never got past the fourth round, so I guess I really shouldn't question.
I mean, it seems like a good play because if you peel that, then you can play directly onto the roofstone behind.
Yeah.
For something like a freeze, or even just a takeout.
That's true. I find it somewhat ironic that 2 draws ago, Nutmeg wasn't on the featured sheet, and there were like a bunch of people from Nutmeg watching going, give me an update, give me an update, give me an update. There's somebody from Nutmeg on the featured sheet, and none of them are here asking questions at all. You know, I'd expect them to at least be saying, go Nutmeg.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You know, maybe there's another big snowstorm blowing through Connecticut or something.
It's
They
possible.
don't have internet access.
It's been 15 minutes since the last one. Melvin Shaw throwing his out on the outside.
He's got the
Death
hit.
attack and the rolly in.
Middle.
Yep. 2 stones in the back 8 for Team Robinson. Who is now, yep, like I said, since he peeled that guard, he's gonna hit that. Or is that actually he's not hitting, he's freezing.
That doesn't even have to wait for
No.
top house.
No, you're right. Basically, he just gave him a guard. So Mark Robinson has 2 shots in the back 8, and Mike Kriz has 3 guards up in front of the house. So I guess it's an even distribution of labor. Courtney Shaw preparing to throw her second stone? Or first?
Yes, it's her first.
It's her first, okay.
I was like, couldn't figure out the numbers, then I forgot she was the vice.
Right.
So yes, this is the first vice stone for the red team.
So Mark called, I believe, just to dump it in the house up at the top 4. That's not making the house.
Oh, that'll be there if they can drag this down.
I don't think
No,
there's
they're
enough
not gonna
drag.
There's not enough.
There's not enough drag.
It's
It's the stereotypical centerline guard,
Yeah.
which actually, since the shot stone is on the center line, that works quite nicely.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt them at all. I mean, that's the idea they were going for. They just wanted it in the house.
They wanted
next
about
to
4,
counter.
about 3 feet deeper.
It does mess with Kriz, though. He was probably looking for maybe a double or something here.
Yeah.
And now he's just got to deal with this guard. He might be able to run it back, do something with it dead.
Yeah, he just did an over-the-shoulder check as though it's like, what do I think? But we'll see.
That's in the playbook, but I don't think it's part of the call. I think it's just,
Exactly.
if it's there, he's going to get it.
But by doing the shoulder check, if it does happen, he's entitled to say, well, yeah.
Oh, he had it all the way, yeah.
Right. And it might just.
Taking it back. Oh, the second jam held the guard in the house.
Yeah.
But the two guards in the house are on the center line, and none of the guards are at the moment. So there is a bit of report there.
And it's a pocket, so he could take both of them out with one shot if he get the shot there.
Or he could maybe just throw rocks into the pocket.
Oh yeah, that's
Leave the pocket there.
Yeah. Although of course Mark Robinson saying, "Give me a biter on the center line up top. Let's put the guard back," which again, very perfectly valid strategy.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about, Mike Kriz throwing through that port, then, what better to do
Close
than
the port.
put something in the port. Yeah.
Exactly. Courtney Shaw releasing her second vice stone of the second end here in the second event.
Definitely looks like it has more weight than the first one, but
It does, but it's
slowing
also
down a
way out
bit.
there. It's not cutting yet. He hasn't got the port closed.
Oh,
Actually, he's going to raise that yellow possibly into.
He's not going to touch it.
He touched it.
He touched it, but
And it might have turned into a. No, it's not even. It's still not a unibiter. But so that means that center line hole is right there. And we've already seen John Gibbons throw an upweight hit. So we know he's got the hit to throw the laser if he needs it. But that's not the call. He's looking for a back four draw.
Yeah.
Or actually, I believe
Back
the
four
call is
promote on
back
one of the
four
guards?
promote on the yellow guard that's just off to the right of the center. I believe is the call. And he's looking to pretty much park this on the button, judging from the fact he called for back four weight. There's a huge cut this way. That's that cut we've been seeing all day.
Yeah, it's off the
And
guards.
actually, he's through. He's going to be in the pocket. Oh,
Oh,
he touches it, and he goes armlessly through the house. If that had curled either an inch less or an inch more, it would have been a beautiful shot. But that spot right there was horrible.
And that's the thing about curling. In bowling or darts or any of the other shooting sports, if you're a hair off, you're still pretty good.
Yeah.
Curling, if you're a hair off, sometimes you're not even close anymore.
That's true. I was wondering where you were going with that. Close only counts in horseshoes, hand grenades, and thermonuclear weapons.
All of which the U.S. is the reigning undefeated champion in, I think, isn't it? Probably not hand grenades.
So Mark Robinson throwing his shot. I'm sure they're going to try to plug the hole again.
Still seems like a good play.
Yeah. Because honestly, he wanted to do it the first time, and the fact that he did, he got away with that. This one's looking more promising.
Yeah, it's curling right back toward the center line.
He's got the gap. He's got the hole. He's gonna plug, and it's gonna be about top four. Just a nibble of the top. Just a nibble of the top four. That's a nice place to put that.
It's going to give this nutmeg team a hard time.
So now I'm pretty sure it's going to be come down the middle hard and move some granite. Which turn?
That one.
That one. Okay. That was really the only question, was which way was it coming, because really both turns look alike in dignity, truthfully. This one's maybe this turn's maybe slightly more open than turning from the other way, but
the two rocks on the other side make that turn just a hair tighter.
Yeah, but if I had a preference for the other turn, I think I would still do it.
Yeah.
It's not enough of a difference.
It's still there. It's
Yeah.
not really exposed going the other direction. You just have to be a little bit more delicate with it.
Right. So this should be a nice upweight. Yep. Okay. This. If he's got the cut to get past the guard, I don't think he does though. He's got the guard. And peels off the guard, and the shooter rolls safely out of play. So Mark Robinson is currently lying 3 as we're preparing to throw our last stones of this second end. Kriz does have the hammer, but Robinson's in Kriz's head right now, I think. Or Kriz is in his own head. Because you can't see it from the camera, but Kriz is kind of, it looks like he's shaking his head about the shot.
Yeah, his first trip down the ice, he had kind of a smile, like a chuckle of,
Right.
haha, look how bad I missed that. Like,
Yeah.
But
That one.
in all seriousness, I think he definitely is disappointed. He missed that of really no other reason than just that he missed it.
Yeah. Yeah. That was not in tennis terms. That was an unforced error. All right. Mark Robinson's basically looking to put the guard back up. I'm not even sure if he's greedy enough to want this to be in the house. I think he just kind of wants to replace a guard, but is this going to?
If he wanted it in the house, he needed to throw it a lot harder than that.
That's a true statement. I don't even know if he's going to come over enough.
It doesn't protect the rocks in the house, but it does block a little bit of that draw port.
Yeah, there is no draw port at this point. There's no meaningful draw.
There's still enough room around the center line to throw that takeout that they were trying to throw.
But if he ends up on the if he ends up on the nose hit, I'm not sure he ends up shot. If he nose hits that red, I don't think he ends up shot, particularly not because he'd blast the red into one of those stones in the back.
It looks like it probably still would be one red in a lot of the cases.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he would knock it back. I'm not sure. He might get shot out of it, but he'd be lucky if he did.
Yeah, I mean, if he knocks it to that one that's on his left, he's got it, because that one's all the way back in the 12-foot.
Although, if that's the broom they're calling, that's not what they're doing.
Yeah, that's not.
They're just trying to draw, and he needs to get a solid bite of the 4-foot.
Yeah, I guess he's just going to use those two in the back as some backing.
Yeah.
Hopefully get onto that higher one and use that to hold his rock, bite some 4-foot.
That's kind of heavy for a draw, in my opinion. Well, it is out in the frosty side slice. They're calling it up.
Some backing, so if it does curl back in, he's got it.
Yeah, but at that weight, is it going to? It's coming.
Starting.
It's thinking about it. It's thinking about it. It's thinking about it a lot.
That's a really nice draw.
That is a hell of a draw to take one and tie this game. That was a thing of beauty. I got to give that. That's why Kriz just won the dikes.
That's shot of the game so far. I mean,
that's the kind of thing you can do when you're on. When you feel like you're on. That was a heck of a shot. Against pressure, having basically missed every shot he'd thrown in the game to this point. Everything else is still in the second.
The other games have all kicked the rocks away from their seconds, but they haven't hung any scores yet.
C
is still either counting or getting ready to throw a Skip's rock or something.
Counting.
Oh, they're counting because we have a slew of biters, but nothing convincingly in the house. They appear to have settled on a number and are putting the rocks away.
I believe, and it's at least a 3.
So we will have the numbers to you when they give them to us.
Exactly. The skip's coming out. It's never a good sign when your lead's first stone to the end. The skip has to come out and sweep.
Not usually.
It's never a good sign.
As the lead, you pretty much have one job, and if you're not doing your one job, then get off the team.
Yeah.
But that still ends up being a fine centerline guard.
Yeah. I think he probably wanted it at least 3 or 4 feet deeper.
Yeah. Or at least a little bit more convincingly there.
And skip out on D. The skip haven't come out and sweep it. Evidently, the skips all decided to have a workout. It's skipper size.
Well, another thing, as a skip, you really don't ever get to sweep a lot. So when you have an excuse, you take it.
Why do you think I play skip? I hate to sweep. And Robinson just used it and just put it right.
That's top button.
Yeah. All right, we still have okay, we got the score on A. Hewer stole 1, up 2-0 on sheet A over Stapera. As we know, sheet B's game is tied at 1, and we don't have hangs on C or D yet.
We do have a hang on C.
We have a hang on C?
It is 2 yellow,
2 up.
and so that's a 2-all.
2-all, Unixton and Mulvey, as is fitting for the Potomac Late Night Deathmatch.
It's really only sentimentally a Potomac deathmatch. The Mulvey's not really curling out of Potomac. but of course, always welcome. As anybody is really, but
Yeah.
I mean, they have their names on some of our rocks and stuff. So I mean,
Yeah. Where did they move to?
their registration says that they're curling out of Colorado.
Okay.
But Connor was on.
Connor was here a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and he also played in the inaugural with Sean Murray and Scott Eady. Scott does still curl out of Potomac, and Sean curls out of Minnesota or Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
So
So basically, they're basically wanderers.
yeah, they'll just go anywhere where the ice is good. So it's a compliment that they're here.
Yeah. Well, it's also home. And okay, we get the hang on D. Red Buffington took a 2 to go up 4-0. Steal of 2. They took 1 in the first. They stole 2 in the first. Stole 2 in the second. It's consistent. They're up 4-0. So that's all of our updates to this point. And we're in the third end. Here on Saturday Night Curling. Nowhere near the ratings of NBC's Saturday Night Football, but
Probably better than Saturday Night Live.
true, at least in the 80s.
Or maybe not better ratings, but probably more entertaining.
I don't know if I'd go there either.
I'd probably rather watch curling these days. But
Okay, yeah, good point. All right, what are we doing here? Robinson is saying, I'm not sure which stone is second shot, is what Robinson is saying. So he's just kind of, is he taking out that yellow? Is that, no, that's not what he... Okay, so basically Robinson is asking Melvin to draw into that pocket up at the top of the 4-foot.
yeah, just move that
Tap
yellow
that yellow
one.
a little bit.
We're not sure if it might be second shot, so just make it not.
Yeah. I don't feel like this has enough mustard.
I didn't either, but I've sort of given up on trying to call the weight. I'm bad enough at it when I'm walking with the stone. Trying to do it from the glass here when it's going the other way is just not working for me.
And oh yeah, actually he just tapped
He
it.
did. Now we know it is
Now
second
second
shot.
tap. Now that did at least eliminate any of the confusion. There is no question. Next stone on its way for Team Kriz. Looks like they're going to chip their yellow. Looks like they're trying to chip their yellow in to be shot now. They're just... I don't even know what that did.
It tapped the red closer to the 4-foot, but it still made it. It's still only fourth shot that red rock that they touched.
So Robinson he's got no desire to blow everything up because his shot is still.
He is shot now, but if you were going to try to blow that up, now is the time to do it. Because you still want to leave yourself time to get your two back. Robinson has the
True.
hammer here.
But
And if he leaves everything the way it is, I don't know that he's going to get more than one. I mean, the whole rest of the other side of the 4-foot is still a bit open, but there's not a lot of guards in play, but all the rocks are sort of settling around the button now.
well, a lot of the rocks are about to move. Because here comes the Intercontinental Ballistic Stone, hitting that top yellow. Bangity bang. Oh, wow. All he picked out was the yellows. Well done.
July 4.
At least 3.
It's at least 3. Looks 4-ish to me. But I'm not out there and I don't count.
Yeah, I'd believe it. I'd believe it if you told me 4. I'd believe it if you told me 4.
But with only the guards on the center line,
Yeah.
Kriz has some kind of break type
Truthfully,
shot.
Kriz, yeah. Kriz like I said, how's Kriz's pool game? And hey, guess who he's got throwing? He's got John up again. John, who we've seen, has the weight.
And he's going to get to demonstrate it here.
Yep.
Probably won't actually take out more than maybe 1 or 2 of these reds, but just getting them all off the forefoot would be a great improvement.
From the geometry, I expect 2 of them to go if he hits this correctly. About 7 seconds.
Yeah, that's some heat.
Boom,
and
he
just kind of peeled the one off the side.
I think he missed his angle because that.
It cut one off.
That doesn't
spread them out a little bit. It doesn't improve his.
And red is now 3. Red is still lying 3.
He did take a point away. He did spread some rocks out a bit. That one other red is exposed now, and so you can use that to hit and roll in.
Would be difficult at best.
To hit it and then slide over to move some of those others off the forefoot. Maybe.
That's more realistic. Courtney's coming down to discuss it. Now Courtney's coming back to throw her shot. Mark hasn't really laid a broom yet, so I'm not 100% sure what they got in mind. Imagine we'll know in about 30 seconds. Draw in. I think they're drawing in, or putting up a guard. Kind of.
Yeah, it's going to be a draw weight kind of shot based on the ice. Covering things up or putting another one in the house both seem fine.
That speed tells me about 3 guardish. Well, actually it's gliding, and they're slipping it. Tap that yellow. Yep. Doesn't change the house. It's still 3 red. That yellow's slightly improved, but not really not something usable in terms of raisies. So do you think he has enough of that to pop it from the outside?
Does he have it? He's got the reds. He's going to touch, knocks the one out the side.
That's actually a remarkably nice result, actually, because the red that's in the forefoot is now 95% exposed.
Yeah, the one that's in the full 8 is
buried to the outside.
He's got the outside half of it.
Changes things up in a nice way for him. We'll put it that way. He's
got a lot of routes to the forefoot circle.
Exactly,
now.
which he didn't have 30 seconds ago. So, in his opinion, that's got to be a good shot.
Oh, yeah, he's got a lot of routes to removing red rocks, which is also going to be very important in a few moments.
Courtney getting ready to throw her second shot. looks like Mark's asking her to take away some of those routes that were just opened up, basically. Which appears to be about what she did.
Yeah, that'll cover most of that rock on the edge of the forefoot.
Yeah, pretty much. There's a sliver exposed on the outside, but it's on the order of a sliver. Taking his look, he's skated down. Draw? Or draw, or heavy draw tap.
That's a pretty good play. Just tap, if you can tap that red out of the forefoot. You know, sit on the nose.
I don't think it's going to get back to it.
No, it's outside. It might get some contact on the edge. Right through the port.
With two more circling the circumference of the 8-foot.
Or tap the other direction.
I like kind of like leaving that for the last round. It's protecting this guy, which is the way in. Yes!
All right, Mark's made up his mind what he's going to do. Looks like Courtney's holding a broom to guard up that shot in the four. All right, we have a third end result over on sheet D. Baguette got 2 to make it 4-2. Or Baguette, rather, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no French bread scrolling out.
Right. Makes it 4-2.
Courtney's guard checks up right there at the hog line.
That's viable.
Oh, actually drifted pretty deep once it got over. It looked like
Yeah,
it could
but
have stopped
it's in a beautiful place.
Oh, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that spot. It looked like it was going to be a really high guard, and then it wasn't.
Yeah.
Again, just making me look foolish on the weights.
Didn't mean to talk to you about that. So the Baguette team is actually from Long Island, so wonder how they feel about the, I don't know if you've heard about this, there's a big,
Bronx,
the big Bronx curling club. It's going to be the first year-round ice
on the East Coast.
on the East Coast. And it's supposed to be like a 6-sheet facility or
The
something.
curling rink will be 6 sheets. The skating and hockey portion will be 9 rinks.
Yeah. Which is
there will be 1 dedicated curling sheet.
And year round.
And
So
it will be open year round.
That's gonna totally blow up the GNCC. That's all I can say, because that's gonna be a scary thing.
It will. I think being up in the Bronx, I think it will do less harm to clubs like Plainfield or Long Island that are sort of New York Metro, and will be more likely to siphon some membership from, say, Nutmeg or Ardsley, the Westchester County, Northern New York clubs.
I don't even necessarily mean it as being a membership thing, because who'd voluntarily go into New York? But
that's true.
All of the folks in New York, they now have a curling facility that you can get on the underground, you can get on the subway, get off, and boom, you're there. And
a big 6-sheet facility means they will be eligible to host anything that needs hosted. So playdowns, all the 5 and unders, that could become a destination of sorts within the GNCC.
Yeah, might as well figure out how to get there now, because they're going to be going there a lot in a few years. Looks like Mark's just planning on tossing another one into the mix there. Okay, we've got a third end on sheet C. Mulvey took 1 to go up 3-2. And for that matter, we have one on sheet A.
And he's going to touch the red for 3 red. So Robinson makes his 3rd point there with his hammer.
So that'll put him up 4-1. Over on sheet A, Stepera took a 3. It's up 3-2 after 3. So all of our games are in or getting ready to start the 4th end. And they're all reasonably competitive.
I don't know if when you were giving the updates, you mentioned the one on C, Mulvey stealing his 1 to go up 3-2 over Enix.
I think I missed that one. Thank you.
So Robinson looks like he was going for the center line guard/draw, and that's pretty much what he got. He got biting the top 4 just off the center line. Kriz is going to go for the ignore it and put up a corner guard plan, which is a pretty good plan when you just got a 3 hung on you.
Yep.
Rock doesn't really want to come off the center line yet.
No, it doesn't, does it?
Starts to at the end. And it's going to float into the house just a little bit. It's not terrible placement, other than the fact that if Robinson wants to take this out, he's going to.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what he just put the broom down for. So, yep. He's fully expecting Brian Stewart to throw a control weight. Oh, Courtney's questioning. Okay. A little bit of dissension about which curl to take on the takeout.
No, and then from hearing Courtney on the ambient mic there, it sounded like maybe she wanted to leave the takeout for Melvin. I'm just not sure exactly.
That wouldn't make a great deal. Who knows? But
unless he's other-handed, and so he would get to use the other hack, and it would change the shot.
And, did Brian just blow this on the outside? No, he got it out.
No,
okay.
He got it out. He peeled it.
Yep, peel's fine. Up 3. agree. PO is perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, you don't want to leave too many rocks around. Even if they're all in the house, it's just targets and things to hide behind for the other team.
So we have a question from Allison. What was the score on D again? On D, we had the Buffington team throwing the red stones. They had taken 2 in the first and 2 in the second to be up 4-0. But the yellow team from Long Island, Baggett, took a 2 in the third to make it a 4-2 game. So it's 4-2 Buffington as they're in the fourth end. They're about halfway through the fourth end right now. Melvin Shaw's stone peeling off that.
And makes a great mixed double there.
Now, Melvin does kind of specialize in playing mixed doubles. So
leaves 1 red stone in the house, right on the center line, right at the top 4.
ridiculously exposed.
Yeah, it's the only rock on the sheet, so.
Yeah. Well, no. Technically, there is this red stone back here in the trip hazard
Oh,
zone.
right, yes. That's not guarding anything, though, except the garage there, the rock right.
Yeah. Certainly, Allison. No problem.
Nice nose weight bump.
Yep.
Takes out the red, sits in the house. And we're going to trade hits for a few rocks.
Yeah, this looks like this is going to be a bang-bang trade hits end, which plays right into Robinson's hands, being up 3. We got to wonder if Kriz might be thinking about blanking this at this point. Still plenty of time to try to do something with it. Got the hit, and we now have a nice clean house. Another stone over the trip hazard area.
So Chris's next stone, I would assume, is a draw of some sort. I guess we're actually probably a corner guard to let him.
Looks like we're playing corner guard. He's trying to rebuild the end basically,
Yeah.
but this time without the benefit of the free guard zone. So
or without the benefit of 8 more rocks.
yeah, my assumption is Courtney will be about to peel this. Now I admit freely that is an assumption. No, Mark's actually coming in behind it. That is a bit of a surprise to me. That's not usually Mark's game.
This doesn't have the weight for a draw.
Well,
Although
but
I
it
was
does
wrong-
have the drag.
I was wrong on that before.
And you're
It
being
is-
wrong on it again. Nothing
yeah,
personal, man.
No,
But
that's true. There it is. That's gonna get all the way down to the T line to really make
Yeah.
it look silly.
but it did not bury. It's probably a third exposed on the inside. I believe Kriz just called for a control take. If I saw it was either a control weight take or he thought he had something on the bottom of his shoe. One of the two.
Yeah, I mean that would be more like a hack weight, I think, would be the call. But in terms of control, as in we're going to come at it down weight so we stick around, yes, that's exactly what it was.
Waiting for the movement. Here it comes. Is it in time or is it a miss? Clean miss on the inside. So what's Courtney up to? Mark is asking Courtney to, are we guarding up or what are we doing here?
I guess it's another draw, just because I wouldn't like putting up a guard for Kriz to put a rock behind.
Well, okay, by guard I kind of meant something, biting in front.
Oh yeah, like a top 12 draw
Yeah.
would be fine. Looks about the same as the last one when I said it wasn't going to make the house, and so I'm pretty sure this one is.
Although they
now.
weren't sweeping it as hard, so I think they're gonna be content to leave it closer or leave it higher rather.
Yeah.
And yep, a tight 3 on the center line basically shuts down the easy path to that shot stone, I think.
Yeah, there's a port. I mean, the way the guards are set, there's an angle, but it's really narrow.
Yeah.
I think the
I
best
think it'd have to
way
be
is
pretty
probably
desperate.
probably go for the double there.
Yeah, which looks like what they're thinking. No, that's a port shot. Because he's calling the
going the other
he's
handle,
calling
yeah.
for the laser.
Yeah, if he threw the other handle, I would say he was going to cross the face and double, but
No, he's asking for the laser through the port, and you know what? I think he did it.
just
Yes,
a little
he
bit
did.
inside roll there.
Nicely
a little too
done.
much roll, but that's still a nice takeout.
Had to ask for the laser, got it.
So now Robin can see most of this
Most
rock.
that stone, yeah.
As long as he's not left-handed.
Which,
I don't think he is. Most people aren't, but I struggle with that myself.
you know, I'm not actually sure. Actually, I think he may be left-handed.
No, he's not. He's getting into the right-handed hack.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. What about Johnny Gibbons, Alf Winter?
But who's throwing the rock? Oh, no, he's not. That was the person who just threw the rock.
Right. Well, 2 rocks ago. Okay, Mark Robinson.
Catch the outside edge there.
Yep.
Spill out.
And is he going to
he's
clear
not
it?
going to clear
He
it.
did not clear it. Back 12.
All right, that was possibly the one miss to put a multiple point end on the board for Kriz here.
Yeah.
Still a few rocks to be thrown, but that's all he was really counting on was just one missed shot from Robinson.
Exactly.
And now he can put his second one in the house.
Well, if I ever find myself visiting New Haven, Alf Winter, I'll find out what a Freiburg truck is, and I'll stop at it. But
It sounds good, whatever
Sure.
it is. I mean, it sounds like it's got robots
Freiburg,
and fried
so,
things.
you know,
So, yeah.
resistance is futile. You will be dipped in ketchup. All right, Thomas Norman is shouting out to Dave Norman over on sheet A, which they're up 3-2, Thomas. So you should be fairly happy. All right, Mike Kriz throwing his first stone. He's got one sitting in the back 12 right now. Getting that past the guard? Oh yeah, easily.
Passed. I'm just not sure if he's going to actually get behind.
A
little bit.
About 60%, 65.
yeah, that actually got it. Yeah, at least half of it buried there.
Oh, that explains it. Apparently, John Gibbons owns and operates the Freiburg truck.
Oh, okay. Well then.
That's okay. Now we see the connection. It's not just a random person trying to get free advertising for French fries in New Haven because our target market is New Haven. Really.
Hey, we got 25 viewers. Our target market could be all up and down the East Coast right now.
Could be. Hey, if I was playing on the feature sheet, it'd be an international audience because my aunt in Sweden tends to tune into my games. Strangely enough, she's never seen me win because I've never actually won a feature sheet game.
Well, then you have to tell her to stop tuning in.
Yeah,
I
really.
think is the problem.
I should. So Mark Robinson getting ready to throw his second stone, his final stone of this, the fourth end. Speaking of which, the games on C and D have finished their fourth ends. We have no earthly clue what's happened because we don't have scores. But just so you know. Well, we know that on C, Enixon must have gotten at least one. So he's at least pulled into a tie. This looks light from Robinson. Of course, we've been saying that consistently all night and been being proved wrong.
Yeah.
And
I
I believe this is yet another. And actually, it's cutting enough.
Enough for second
shot.
And lined up enough that Kriz can't really deal with that.
Yeah,
I mean, it's exposed, but any
a hard get.
Any hit drives it back.
That's a hard get. And apparently folks at Nutmeg are actually excited about the upcoming Night Bridge facility in the Bronx. So your supposition earlier that they were kind of concerned about membership is apparently they're happy about it.
Oh, I mean, I was just thinking that they possibly could. I know the nightmare scenario we talk about here in Potomac is someone opening a club in Northern Virginia.
Yeah. Although I don't care so much now that I don't live in Fairfax anymore.
Yeah,
but boy, back then, if they had opened a club at the Iceplex in Herndon, yeah, I would have quit Potomac membership in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I feel torn as someone who does live in Fairfax. You know, having come up here for 5 years now or 4 years now, you know, I would feel really bad about it, but again, would probably just start curling down in Ashburn or wherever they would put it.
Yeah. Okay, they're sweeping that hard, trying to get it to be a second shot. They got enough gumption.
It's third, but it's
third.
Not second, so it's going to be just one for Kriz.
One for Kriz, which is not. I mean, it's not horrible.
It's only halftime.
Yep.
But he really was looking for two there.
And
at least
speaking
two.
of halftimes, we actually have scores hung. So let's talk our way through this. Cool. Over on sheet D, Baggett got another one. So it is now 4-3 for
Buffington,
the person who was wondering how this game on D was going. So it's 4-3 in favor of Buffington. On C, apparently Enixon got a 1, so that game is tied at 3. Our game on sheet B, as we know, Kriz just got a 1 to be down 4-2. And they finished the fourth end on sheet A, but they have not hung a score, so I'm not sure what the score is there. I don't think the facility in the Bronx is actually opening until like 2016 or something like that.
2015 or 2016. It's still a while away.
Yeah, which I mean, they've got it. It's an armory that they're taking over, so I mean, they got a lot of work to do.
And just the sheer magnitude. I mean, 9 hockey rinks, a
Yeah.
6-sheet curling rink.
I just wanted to, I mean, just the compressor for the ice alone must be insane. I'm trying to think of more than one. Okay,
They
so
keep it running year round. I mean, I know what our bill looks like just for running ours in like half of April.
yeah, and we only have essentially one sheet.
Yeah.
So over on A, they hung the score. Hewer picked up a 1 in the fourth. That bad boy's tied at 3 at halftime. So again, all of our games here at the 10-15 draw are very close.
Yeah, the widest margin is the game we're watching here at
2 points.
2, yeah.
Yeah. So buckle up. It's going to be a late night. Get another round at the bar.
Oh, don't mind if it...
Yep, that's absolutely right, Alf. That Marc Messier is at least the face on the project. I'm sure. I'm sure he's got professional architects and engineers and stuff working for him, but he's the face, which gives him an awful lot of cred in New York. I mean, that's the only reason that project's happening is because Messier was behind it. And I got to admit, it's a brilliant use of the space.
I mean, you're not really doing much else with an armory in the Bronx.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why they ever had an armory in the Bronx, but that's neither here nor there.
I mean, a lot of the clubs that are converting from arena to dedicated ice, you're seeing that is you're finding a lot of clubs buying up, defunct grocery stores, warehouses, places that have concrete bases installed that are mostly flat, or if not completely flat, and that have thousands of square feet of that big flat floor.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the other alternative being the club that literally just opened, like they threw their first stones like last week, which is crazy late in the season, but down in Arizona.
oh,
Strangely
the
enough.
Coyotes Club, yeah.
Yes, I don't for a second quite get why they chose to throw their first stone in the end of March down in Arizona. I mean, it seems like a questionable decision, but I don't know if they're going for year round there, or if they just wanted to be able to say, "Yep, we got something going this year." Get some post-Olympic open house action and do a really big hit next year. I don't know, but those guys. I mean, anybody who's following their blog on their Facebook, they put in a ton of work. Now they got a sand floor just like we did, because they were operating on the cheap. Everything they did down there was donated and volunteer and that kind of thing. I think the only thing they actually spent was they had to spend money for the for the free inductions, but everything else was done by volunteers. Which unfortunately means that Potomac we've lost our world record, because up until last week we were the farthest south dedicated ice club in the Northern Hemisphere.
Oh, wow.
But we are no longer. So, oh well.
Well, actually, I think Chesapeake had that distinction.
They don't run full season.
Well, they
Close.
Well,
they try. They like December to March.
But yeah, and now, Phoenix pretty much has most places in the United States beat, unless we get something in South
honestly,
Florida.
Until the Honolulu Curling Club opens up in 2019 or so.
But even like Triangle and Charlotte Center are both working on dedicated facilities.
It's going to be interesting to see how those places actually manage to hold their ice. I mean, I'm really curious how the heck Arizona is going to hold ice in the winter. They must have spent a ton of money on insulation on that facility, because basically they took a warehouse and converted it.
I can guarantee you they will not have the problems with humidity that we have here in the
No,
Atlantic.
that's true. They probably don't even have a dehumidifier. They probably just, they may have had to buy a humidifier. So anyhow, back to the game. Curling.
Well, just like on TV, if you watch TSN, no one even shows you like the front ends rocks. So.
Right. So where are we? We have a stone. Again, Robinson once again is shot in the forefoot. There's a yellow stone in front of that. There's a couple of guards in the center. And Melvin Shaw is throwing his second stone. Is he going to get past that top guard? No, he's not. He's on it.
Crashing right into it.
He's crashing it. Which does do a little bit of, actually it doesn't do any peel action. That makes the situation. But Mark Robinson's on front, up front, so out in front and shot, so not a horrible situation. I'm sure he'd really rather put more than a 1 up with this end. Yeah, so Josh, I got a question for you. Where'd you guys get your facility down there? I used to live down in Dinwiddie, and I so missed. Biggest thing I was happy about when I moved up to Fairfax was that, there was curling up here. So where did you guys get the facility going down in Richmond? I know you're an arena, but where did you get one of the iceplexes or not iceplexes? One of John Harvey's places? Harvey?
Kriz is down there. He was calling for a draw down to, I guess, the button to try to get to shot or close to it, but that one stopped short.
Yeah.
Just another rock in the pile out front, just making life miserable for everybody, but especially Mike Kriz, who is behind and not shot.
Yeah. So Mark just asked for a wide draw. Now Courtney throws his rock with good swing. So
yeah, they're sweeping it to clear it around the sort of the outer sheet frost, and it's
got
coming
past
down
the guard
nicely, but it's going to end up stopping
short
at the top 8. But it's
right. So yeah, my understanding, Alf, is that Triangle's working on dedicated ice.
Charlotte definitely is. They sent out some letters for soliciting donations.
Right, and I think
I've heard that Triangle is as well, but I'm not 100%.
Right. So there's a lot of clubs making that move, which is awesome.
Oh, Triangle broke ground today, according to
Congratulations, Triangle. That is awesome. We'll look forward to hopefully getting down there maybe as early as next winter. We're moving granite with this stone. That's the plan.
This one's got some steam.
Got some
behind
get
it.
up and go, and bang, bang,
Look
bang.
at that. That's gonna be.
That moved a lot.
That's gonna
Yellow
sit
is too.
Yellow.
Nice.
Now that
Big
second
hit.
shot is exposed, but still, he turned it from 1 red without much happening to 2 yellow. So that's a big swing.
And that's the power of that. That's the power of power. Don't like the situation, blast it. All right, Courtney's coming back down to discuss this with Mark because Mark's plan just got exploded. 100%. Yeah, apparently you're right. Apparently John Gibbons, those French fries must have spinach in them or something, because he can throw an upweight hit.
That makes me suddenly less interested in trying them. But if I ever do find myself in New Haven, I will have to go look for the Freiburg truck.
You don't think you're not willing to go for the spinach fries?
I mean, if I'm looking for fries, I'm looking for really not any vegetable matter anywhere near them for the most part.
Fine.
But it actually doesn't sound bad when you just say spinach fries.
Yeah,
there's a lot of
spinach fries. Almost sounds tasty. Almost. So looks like Mark is asking Courtney to draw in. I mean, there's still plenty of a mess up front. So asking Courtney to draw in from our right to our left. Get in behind the mess. I'm not sure that clears the guard. Oh, yeah, it does. Never mind. I don't have a perfect straight-on angle here. So
Yeah, well, and I've got sort of the wide angle, so everything looks like it's way clear and then isn't. But yeah, that's clear. That's down into the house.
That's the shot stone is what that
down
is.
to
Well,
yeah, that's the shot stone.
probably, yeah.
That's about halfway into the 4 foot.
Yep.
And so Mike Kriz has to deal with this.
And it is half exposed on the outside, so. But hitting it on that half exposed to the outside is probably going to sacrifice his yellow also, because I don't think there's any way that you can miss them both. Or you can hit the red and miss the yellow. I don't think it's possible. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. I'm used to it.
Yeah, I mean, he might just want to maybe bring the weight down a notch and just try to see if he can't get around to the nose of this. But
That is down. And the broom's got right on it. That one is on the guard. That's no question. That's chipping the guard. It's because it chipped the guard. It slammed the guard. I was correct, wasn't I? So Mark Robinson is still sitting shot. It's now fully exposed. So
it is fully exposed, so I'm guessing he's going to look at some way to cover it.
Strangely enough, it almost looks like he's looking to do some sort of draw-in action. Courtney likes there. Apparently Mark doesn't like there. Mark seems to like over a little bit more. Okay, Mark getting ready to throw his first stone of the fifth end. I'm pretty sure they're going for some guard action. Although Courtney liked something in the house. They just finished the fifth end over on sheet A. We'll be sure to give you an update as soon as we get the score. Mark Robinson's first stone on the way. He yanked the brooms to it in a hurry, which is weird. It seems fast to me.
And it doesn't, it has plenty of room around the guard, so it doesn't need a ton of help on the line. Comes down, gives a little tap.
A little tap action, okay.
That looks like 2 red to me.
No, because of the yellow.
Oh yeah, that one over there. Yeah.
2 over there. Yeah, but the yellow that's over on the other side is definitely out counting it. And
we still have a hammer to be thrown as well, which will definitely, presumably, change up something. Well, certainly will Mike Kriz going to attempt to.
Mike Kriz doesn't have the hammer.
No, he doesn't.
Okay. Mike Kriz.
Kriz has one more rock, and then Robinson has the hammer.
Exactly.
So we have 2 more rocks to be thrown,
Precisely.
which will
So,
definitely change things up.
On A, Arthur Hoyer stole another one. He's just run away with this like a thief. He is now in the lead, 4-3, over Stapera in that B event semifinal.
We have a 5th end score over on sheet D as well. Yellow, the Baggett rink is up 5-4 over the Buffington rink.
And for that matter, we get one on C. Mulvey took one to take a 4-3 lead over Enixon. So Kriz throwing his last shot here in his 5th end. He's trying to do something about those red stones.
Looking like a pretty good zone. Oh, it's starting to curl a bit. Maybe too
Got
much.
the one tappy tap.
Oh, now it's going to be too red. So I was just
It's
a rock early.
definitely too red. And Mark's got the last stone of the end coming up here. He could
And
have
he looks
chance
like
to
he
get
has a
another 3 ender.
Nice big basket to toss that into.
Does he? I can't. I'm actually blocked because.
But now they're actually looking at maybe a raise takeout that could get him. Actually, still probably only gets him 3.
Bring it from weight. Yep.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not sure why he's not just taking the nice straight basket draw. I guess he's concerned if he undercurls, he could promote the yellow.
I mean, if that yellow, that's 3rd shot, was the only yellow in the house, then this is absolutely the play to try to get 4 or 5 here. But those other 2 on the right are still going to outcount the shooter and anything else he puts up here.
Yeah. Okay, Courtney just pointed out the drop board. Courtney just pointed out the drop board, so I think he's going to go that way.
And he's got a lot of backing. I mean, on all sides.
Really?
Oh, he's still
So
going to go.
they're not doing the draw.
He's still going to go for the raise takeout.
Yeah, the angle raise. I don't think they're necessarily going for a raise takeout. I think they're just trying to tap that in to make it into a 3rd. Oh, you're kidding. No, I'm not kidding. They're actually checking on C right now to find out if that stone is in the free guard zone or not.
I mean, it's technically important to check. I mean,
no, it's perfectly within the rights. It's appropriate to do. Don't get me wrong. I'm not questioning that. And it is.
Looks like it's in the house based on the.
Yep. Okay, Robinson's throwing his stone again. He's looking like he wants to chip that red. Putting the brushes to it hard. Hard. Okay, past the guard. Got the hit. Question is the roll
and
gonna
he puts it onto the outside of the yellow?
No, not enough.
So it's still just going to be 2.
2 red. So that gives him a 6-3?
6-2.
6-2 lead. After 5. Robinson 6, Kriz 2. As we're coming back on the 6th end now, all of our games are in the 6th. As Saturday night curling is preparing to turn into Sunday night curling here shortly.
Sunday morning.
That too. It's the night. It's Sunday. Sunday night curling. Just the first night. That's my story. I was sticking to it.
You're not wrong.
Well, yeah, I am. But I'm used to it. It's okay.
I mean, you're not right, but you're not wrong. Like, you are correct in that it is night, and you are correct in that it's about to be Sunday.
So there you go. Robinson having his lead throw up a ridiculously high guard.
I wouldn't call it ridiculously high, but it is high for a first stone.
Yeah.
It's about on that doubles mark. This looks like it's not. Oh, he's trying the other way. Okay, so yeah, there's a corner guard from Kriz.
Basically, both teams playing out their typical playbook.
This one drifts out a little bit wide.
It's
still
got the corner of the 12-foot.
Yeah, still. Oh, that's.
Actually,
and it's going to bite the house.
It's a biter. Chomp. Which I'm kind of half expecting Robinson to chomp it. Yep. He's expecting to chomp the biter.
Yeah, a nice roll to the center off of this isn't bad either.
Yep. I'm a little concerned about an overcurl here. He's on it. He's going to have enough to do to roll to the center. Yes. How much of one? You know, as shots go. Ooh. If Melvin had just actually worked on that stone, it would have been perfect.
Yeah, I think he was just worried about sweeping it past, and so he was a little bit hesitant. And then he realized how far from getting there he was.
I'm just going to say he was lazy.
Oh, I mean, if he had just jumped on it early, he would have gotten it there, I think. Although maybe not, because it's still pretty short.
Yeah, actually, honestly. So, Kriz.
This is going to get around that guard.
And hit that stone that Melvin didn't sweep hard enough. And roll to be exposed in the 8-foot on the other side.
So that takeout is Melvin's fault, that's what you're saying.
Exactly. I'm saying that's completely Melvin's fault. Fortunately, he can redeem himself here if he can get this takeout on the other side and roll to behind the cover, which is what Mark's calling it for him to do.
He can't completely redeem himself, though, because he can't control whether this rolls to the center or not, because he can't sweep it.
He can if he does it right. If he doesn't,
Right.
if he does it, so they don't have to put a broom on it. Yeah, we can see if Courtney's willing to bail him out more than he was willing to bail out his lead. They're on it. I honestly don't think he's got enough of the inside to catch the roll on this, and I'm.
Oh, Courtney's putting the effort in, but again, it just comes up
a foot short.
It's a family thing.
It's a family. On average, though, since one was a foot to throw to the right, this is a foot to throw to the left, statistically they're right
they are
in the
both
middle.
right under the guard there.
Exactly. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, you don't curl with statistics.
What? Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Sweepers are hard on this one. Is it going to get past the guard? If it dives a little, it might not. Yes, it does. Actually, it's surprisingly good. Got the hit, and it's exposed too far on the other side. So Melvin has a chance for takeout from over here.
So we've had two yellow takeouts that rolled across the guard, and we've had two red takeouts that rolled short of the guard.
Pretty much.
So if we average all those together, we've got 4 rocks.
If we average all this together, we have an end.
4 orange rocks
we have
right under the guard.
We have an end from sheet A in the last draw that we have. We're getting a little punch drunk, folks. It's 10-12 on the. Got the hit, and this one's a heel out.
This one will roll under a guard on sheet A.
Yeah. Melvin. I think we give that a 0. Well, I got the hit, so I guess it's a 1.
It depends on the call. I mean, I can't hear the skip from in here, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe he said, I'll also assume the skip's hit peel again before.
Wow, you're generous. So Kriz has his third, no, I'm sorry, it's still second. John Larson throwing his second stone, which is Tommy. But exposed. So once again, for those of you who may have joined us later, the games on sheet A and B are B event semifinals. Stupera is in red against Hewer in yellow. Hewer up 4-3. Our feature game on sheet B is Kriz in yellow versus Robinson in red. Robinson is up 6-2. The winners of those games will be meeting in the B finals tomorrow at noon. Over here on sheet C and sheet D, we have Enixon versus Mulvey. Enixon in red, Mulvey in yellow. And Mulvey is ahead by 1, 4-3. And on sheet D, we have Buffington in red and Baggett, in yellow. Baggett is up 5-4. Those are C quarterfinals. They're fighting for the right to show up at 9 o'clock again, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning on very little sleep and be prepared to curl 2 back-to-back games if they should win that semi. I hope the hotel room beds are soft.
Yeah, the sort of pleasure and pain of making the end of the C event.
Yeah.
And on the Saturday night, Sunday morning sort of death march to the event final.
But one thing we know, there'll be 8 teams getting slightly tipsy at noon tomorrow afternoon. And all of these teams would like to be one of those.
Yes!
John Gibbons, apparently professional fry truck owner, throwing his stone, trying to freeze up.
And coming out himself
to sweep. And not enough by any stretch of the imagination. That's just kind of hanging out there in the middle of essentially nowhere. Mark Robinson asking.
If this was the beginning of the end, I'd say that's a fine corner guard, but
unfortunately, when it's the last vice stone, actually it's not the last vice stone, actually it was the first vice stone.
I mean, I suppose it's still a fine corner guard, but that's not what they wanted.
Yeah, unfortunately the stone in the corner that's guarding happens to be one of the other teams. Mark was asking to put this essentially on the button, basically is what he's asking for. And
then I think they're going to want to put some finish on this to get it to the button. And there they go. And there it is.
So there you go. A little bit wide. It's got about a third exposure on the outside. Here comes John Gibbons' second stone. Looks like they're trying to come past the guard and take it out. I don't know. Yes, past the guard. I don't think it's got the speed for the takeout, though. I think it's just going to pop. I think they're okay with that.
Yeah, that's pretty nice positioning under the center guard. Leaves a little bit of backing if it's exposed. Yeah, because if it's exposed, it's the right-hand side.
I honestly don't think it is exposed.
If it is, it's the other way. But you're right. If it is, it's not much.
Yeah.
It might not be. But if it is, it does leave that on the jam side.
True.
But either way, Mike Kriz is happy. He's got a rock on the button under a guard. Got a good chance at getting a few points here.
Yeah, and he needs it. He needs it.
Yeah, he's looking for at least like a 3 here.
Yeah. A 2 keeps him alive because 2-1-3 is a tie.
Yeah.
But he'd rather get the 3 now. Believe with that broom, they're just trying to draw to that yellow. Basically, I think Mark's strategy is just kind of shrink the house, make it so Kriz can't get but his 1. This is definitely a guard. Mark, if Mark was going for the button for this, he left it way short. Okay, not way short.
Oh, now you got to think. Well, no. I was going to say Kriz might be tempted by the double here, but it doesn't really get him anything except
Doesn't
the
win
red's
anything.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think he probably just wants to try to draw again. Just put another yellow into the forefoot.
Something he's got to check against. Excuse me. Right now, if he doesn't do anything, if Kriz doesn't do anything useful with this shot, Robinson's got an opportunity. He could take that red that he just threw. It's in a good position to pop that yellow that's on the button out with the raise. And actually, at that point, honestly, Mark would be sitting through it, which would not be a good situation for. So Mike Kriz has got to be looking at what he's going to do about that snow. Okay, we finished the sixth end. Actually, we finished the sixth end on A. They hung a score. They have not hung a score. However, it appears that Stepera is throwing first in the seventh, so at the very least, he's climbed back into a tie. We'll see where it goes from there. All of our other games are throwing skips stones in the sixth. Kriz is making contact, kicking that in. Actually, that just makes it. That makes that raise. Yeah, that makes, like Courtney's just saying, that slash is there. That slash shot is absolutely there.
Yeah, I would guess Kriz was probably going for the inside of that to use it to tick it out and roll in to try to get the second shot as well.
Yeah.
And was just, a little bit off on the line.
So actually over on A, Stepera took 2. He's ahead, 5-4. And we're doing a measure in the sixth over on D. So Robinson's definitely, Courtney's got the broom down for the slash. Honestly, if Mark makes this shot, that could put a hammer, that could put a nail in this game.
It's pretty close, because then you're setting up with Kriz really not being able to get more than one in this end.
Yeah.
Unless something goes pretty terribly wrong. And the reds out of the center are all moved away, and that one on the 12-foot would be a counter, and he can get a 2. It means he at least he hasn't gone away yet. Oh, this looks like it couldn't flash.
It is a flash. It's on the outside. It's a clean miss. So now the question becomes what Kriz is going to do to try to make that second point. And he's going to get the calculators and the protractors, compasses, and all this kind of stuff out of there, because it's a very simple geometry problem. Given this situation, construct 2 points. C, evidently red, which is Enixon, got 2 points in the sixth end, which would put him up 5-4. And D has finished their sixth end also. They haven't hung a score, however. They had to do a measurement. We know red scored, so red has at least climbed into a tie over there on D. Again, all these games are ridiculously close.
Oh, but then Enixon's first rock over there came up short. It looked like it lost its handle or something. Maybe it picked and ended up being a hog stone.
All right, Kriz has a shot in mind. Is he just drawing? He's apparently just drawing. I guess he thinks if he taps that yellow that's on the button, he's got enough room to squeeze a second one in.
He could mess up the angle a bit for that raise.
But the raise, it's
Oh,
the
it's
hammer,
gone,
so it's
the
irrelevant.
hammer. Yeah, it is irrelevant.
Okay, all of the sweepers are on it right now. They're trying to get every centimeter out of it they can. Every millimeter, they're fighting for it. It's not going to get there. Nope, it's one yellow. So that makes that score 6-3 here on B. Robinson has the hammer in the 7th and is already up by 3 points. Over on A, throw in the 7th. Stupera is up 5-4. On D, they haven't hung the 6 yet. C, it's 5-4 in favor of Edison. So the only game that's not a 1-point game is the future game. I don't know if the fat lady's quite warming up for the aria yet, Alf, but I think I do hear some tones going off in the wings. It's a little tight.
And there's the 6 just hung on D. It's 3 points for
Red Buffington.
For Buffington. So he has taken a 7-5 lead, 7-6 lead.
I believe 7-5. That may be that may be a break. That's pretty much as close to a break open as that game's got. Mark puts his team's first stone behind the guard. Brian Stewart curls that in very nicely. So we'll see what Don Malmer can do. He's being asked to draw it from the other side. Just touching the top 12 for the yellow.
Even 2 it is fine. Yeah. Yeah, I like the little tapestry.
Play halfway. Take it to the inside. Yes, please. Oh, yes. Those are fine, too.
Brian Stewart's second stone. Burying in, tapping that first one into the full 4. It's sitting half 12, half 8. Sitting 1-2.
Gets around the guard pretty nicely, but that's about all it does. Is get around.
That's short, yeah.
I'd go to this side, actually. You got more of this.
Oh, there's this, too.
Kriz really can't afford to miss very many more shots.
There's this. That's good. That's more? Is that more than last time?
Robinson deciding just putting up guards here is fine, and it is. He's sitting 2, and he's got a decent lead. Just protect the points you already have.
She's good. Just gotta come back. Normal. Now you're ready to go. Yep. Yep. Great shot.
That guard's up the other turn.
Wow, we got that further than I thought, Melvin.
Yep. Yeah.
We gotta get rid of the rocks now.
Yeah. You want to try to run this now?
I think we have to.
Okay.
Okay, they're calling a run.
Yeah, he's got it. He is right. They do have to try to move some red rocks
Yeah,
out of there.
absolutely. Or at least get rid of some of these yellow guards up front so that they can get at the red rocks soon.
Hitting that top red and maybe sort of slashing the yellow across into the top. red in
He's
the
taking the
house.
top yellow.
Okay, he's gonna just peel the.
Well, I don't know if it's a peel or if it's a drive back and expect to move 2 in the mid. Trade the 1 for 2. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no.
Plenty of weight. Wow. That's going to be another one of those 6-second hog to hogs. But all it's going to be is a peel. It's going to peel that front one because he didn't get enough to it. So all it is an exceptionally high weight peel. So honestly, if I was Mark, I'd put it back,
Kind of like this.
which is what he's doing.
I think that takes away some of the angle. If I tap the pile, is that bad? Yes. Okay. I'd rather you be here than do that. Okay. Or even a 2, maybe. That's all I wanted to know.
I don't know if you guys heard the exchange there on the in-house mic, but Melvin was asking, if I tap the pile, is that bad? And Mark's immediate response was yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we just got to get over the center line.
So Mark's asking Melvin for a relatively high guard. Probably be happy with a 2.
Yeah, basically what you were just saying, just put it back.
Yeah.
If Kriz doesn't like a guard being there, then put a guard there.
Yeah.
It's good. Just make sure when you go, you get to center.
Yeah, that
I
agree
actually
with the
think
sweeper is
that
the
Melvin
line.
may have touched the pile like he was not supposed to.
He was not supposed to, but it looks like. Oh no, it's
No,
gonna check up
actually,
just short.
that's okay. Tricking the angle. He actually put
Didn't
that
touch the pile.
right on a 2.
Well done, Melvin.
So Kriz is right back where he was 2 stones ago.
The guard's not as high as it was. It's also not his own, so he can't. It's not as productive to try to run it back.
Exactly. So it's almost a weaker position than he was 2 stones ago.
Yeah, it is. I wouldn't have said so originally, but then after talking through all the different points, yeah, everything about this is worse than it was 2
Yeah.
rounds ago. And he's going to do the same thing.
He's got one thing going for him. John Gibbons, fry cook extraordinaire,
The Freiburg.
the Freiburg, in the hack.
And his second apparently can throw really
Apparently,
heavy weight as
apparently
well.
he's got lots of high weight available to him on this. His team has weight. There's no question there. This one, he is calling for sufficient weight that this stone is not going to curl at all. Seven seconds hog to hog, and it turns into be just another. Oh no! Actually, there was a kick. Didn't move a lot around, but it did change some angles just enough up there in the 12-foot. There's that yellow stone on that red that's the second shot.
Great angles for us. We need here.
Actually, Mark's happy with that. Mark likes that, so he's prepared to leave that.
I don't mind tucking another one in there. Maybe
Okay, according to Alf, apparently the whole team can bring it.
No, I was thinking
So,
get off our red and get shot at.
Yeah, that's really a tough angle.
Okay, I can't tell from here. That's why I'm
Yeah, I like that.
You know, Courtney neglected to ask if she hits the pile, is it bad?
That is true, but it doesn't look like she's really going to hit the pile. She's going to hit. Well, she touched that rock. I don't know if you count that as part of the pile or not.
Mark appeared to be happy with it, so. And actually, kind of looking at it, there's no clean anglage. Those 4 stones are pretty effectively blocking that shot stone in the back in the top 4.
Yeah. Is there a play off of that rock sitting out on the left side, sort of the outcast of the pile of guards?
Yeah.
Yes!
So they're looking at the slash.
Whoa!
And I don't think that slash that slash doesn't really do anything to take out the.
It doesn't get to the shot rock.
Doesn't get to the shot rock. So calling the enough, or they blow up, or they blast the pile from that side. I guess it depends on what handle he's going with.
Yeah, no one even seemed to point at the end off there, so maybe it's just not there. I probably personally don't quite know enough to know if it's there or not.
Well, I know Mark was saying it was a tough angle, and it is a tough angle. I mean, just looking at it, it's a very steep angle, and usually
you
in-offs are better fairly
pretty
shallow.
thick,
Yeah,
so
which
that you get more of a run back instead of a run across.
yeah, which
means
is
then
very
you have to
difficult.
throw a lot of weight.
So this is.
So
The handle he's throwing though, they're kind of going. They're going for it.
yeah, that's the out turn.
He's gonna hit it. What's gonna happen after the hit?
And
Just
look at
exactly
that.
what he asked for.
Oh,
Whoa,
not
75% of what the doctor ordered.
Spilled kind of across the top of the shot stone instead of into it.
Yeah.
Still moved at a good distance.
Yeah, but
if it wasn't for the shooter just rolling so far,
still
that would have been a
leaves-
very nice shot. It
Still actually leaves Mark laying 2 right now. Because he's got the shot in the top 8 and the back 8. They're both buried behind the phalanx of guards.
Very, that's good.
And now we've got music on the war room. So apparently, if you were wondering, what time does the party start at Potomac Curling Club? 12:15 a.m.
Okay then, good to know.
Yeah, here's all right.
So reaching for they're trying to draw to the button, I think, but Courtney's got permission to leave it short.
So we're saying it's okay if she touches the pile?
It's
okay if she doesn't
it's
as
okay
well?
if she doesn't get to the pile.
Right, but it's okay if she touches it as well? Or do we know
Actually,
yet?
I think she's not supposed to even come anywhere near the pile.
Oh, okay. Well then,
Where is it? Going flag, go hard.
looks like it's got a bit of weight. No.
They're sweeping it like it doesn't. Oh, it's a line
it doesn't.
problem.
Yeah.
She's going to touch the pile.
She's going to touch the pile. And as we've established, that's probably a no-no.
I don't know if it's a no-no in this case. It's not a happy, cheerful thing.
It didn't really change the situation much,
No, not at all, really.
which is the problem because they were looking
Exactly.
to.
All right, we're hanging a number in the 7th end over there on sheet D. What are we hanging? We're hanging
We're hanging one yellow.
yellow points. Okay, so what does that make that?
That makes it 7-6.
7-6
for
Buffington. Coming into the 8th and final end. That's a tight game. Buffington up 1, does have the hammer. And what are we doing here? They're looking at Skips Rocks on C. They're looking at Skips Rocks on A. And actually, we're throwing Skip Rocks on B. So all these games are pretty close in the timeline. Mike Kriz looks like he's drawing for the button.
Seems like a good play.
But yeah, I think he's touching the pile.
He does touch the pile and spins over there to bite leg and batter.
Yeah, bites. He takes a nibble to become the 6th shot.
That's my favorite part.
Perhaps not completely irrelevant, but definitely being drafted in the last round. Okay, they finished the 7th end over on A. Yellow is preparing to throw the first stone. That means that's probably a tie game. Hanging the number right now. It's hanging. Yep, I think they hung a 1. No, they hung a 2. They hung a 2. Yellow, Hewer is up 6-5 on sheet A. Actually, they hang a 3 now. It's 6-5. 6-5, Hewer over Stapera. Stapera will be coming home with the hammer, down 1. I don't want to let it be. Courtney's asking the sweepers to really give it. And touches the pile, blocks that in-turn draw. Currently, Robinson is laying 1-2.
If he's feeling like another in-off, he's got that stone sitting all the way in the wing.
All right, Kriz is throwing his hammer in this 7th end. No, he doesn't have the hammer.
No, he's throwing his last rock.
He's throwing his last rock. Fundamentally, unless he's lying shot after this game's over. Because Robinson would be getting at least 2.
To make it, what, 8-3 at least?
At least.
Yeah, so he's going to be looking at coming home and get the hammer, but needing 5
Yeah.
or more.
So this is absolutely got to be. This has got to, as his vice John Gibbons just said, it's got to be here. They're leading on it hard. He's actually coming out to help sweep.
It's got a chance. It's got room around the guard.
I'm
if
not
it's
sure it
got
has
the
as much
weight.
room as you think it does.
Oh.
It tipped and it rolled.
It is shot.
It is shot, but it is also completely exposed.
You got this. You like this ice?
So all that Mark Robinson needs to do is hit this, and this game, and the fat lady will be working the aria. It may not be officially over, but it would be practically over.
But we'll also know the dead fat lady will probably just come from the Freiburg in New Haven.
Whatever you want to play. I think this room. I think you don't have to throw normal. I think like it runs pretty straight, right? We want to get to the inside. We don't want to jam. So.
Jumper's on it immediately. It's
This is
inside.
all
It's
over these
crazy
cards.
inside.
We could
Did it
maybe
get
see
there?
It did, but then it did go out. Yes.
Yes, so Robinson takes his 2. Yes?
I don't see any other potential result.
Yeah, Robinson takes his 2. So that puts him up by a lot coming home in the 8th. I think that's a shake.
Is he? I think he's extending the hand.
Yeah,
yes,
that's
Mike
it.
Kriz extends
Mike
the
Kriz
hand.
extends
to
the hand.
Robinson.
So our final score, Robinson 8, Kriz 3 after 7, game over. So we'll be seeing Robinson in the B event finals tomorrow at noon on sheet C. So what happened over on C?
They're still finished. There's 3 yellow.
3 yellow. Okay, if it's a 3 yellow, then it's 7-5 in favor of Mulvey. They're putting this sign up now. Let's get the confirmation. 1, 2, yes. 7-5, Mulvey over Enixon as we're coming home in the 8th.
Yeah. Do we want to? We're gonna cut over to
Yeah, let's go ahead and let's cut over.
A and C and D. Actually, are all in their 8th ends.
Yeah, they're all just starting 8. Pick a sheet, any sheet. Let's see. Alf was actually concerned about the game on B that just ended, so he may be the only one expressing an opinion. Let's go ahead. We'll give you C for now. If somebody else shouts and says they want to see one of the other ones, we'll move it. But for now, we're going to go and bring you the sheet C game between Enixon and Mulvey, which, like I said, Mulvey just took a 3 to go up 7-5 as we're throwing the 8th. Yeah, actually, this is the best choice because the game on A is just about over. They've only got like 4 or 5 rocks left. Know the identity of one of our B event finalists. We know both of our A event finalists, and we're looking to find out who the other B finalist will be. 2 of our C semifinalists. We know the other 2 C semifinalists. We know our D finalists as well. We're basically getting down to the nitty gritty here. There's really only
after this, there are 2 draws left: the C semifinals and all the finals.
Yeah, so there's only 6 games left after this.
Was that a through the house call? I guess.
I don't know.
It may
if
have
it was
been maybe a tick.
I think they were shooting for the tick shot. They didn't get it, but those are low, especially at this level of curling. That's low.
Yeah.
That's a low probability shot. I mean, you got to try it because otherwise, you might as well. You're not losing anything.
No, and a couple times I throw vice, and what my skip has done is sort of called for the tick with Plan B in the back of the mind of, well, if we're not there, we'll just make sure you run it through. Make sure you throw it hard enough to run it through.
Exactly. And if it turns into a free guard violation, it's the same as though you ran it through.
Same as throwing it through, yeah.
So I mean, really, trying the tick is you're risking nothing. And if it works, it works. Okay,
This looks
Steven
like it's
Evenson.
got a lot of weight.
And it also has a lot of room. Seeing it, Steven was saying it does have a lot of room. Okay,
Oh,
so
it
it's
is slowing down pretty nicely to settle in the house.
Yeah, back 4-ish, maybe back 8.
Not
Yeah,
under
not
the
bad.
guard,
Or alternatively,
but
right on the
right
button.
on the pin, yeah.
Well, I appreciate that, Alf. We can go for some bonus bar time. That'd be awesome. Feel free to send that money to the Potomac Curling Club to buy for the Announcers Beverage Fund, care of the station.
not just the announcers, but we have our sort of unnamed friend over here, our camera and scoreboard operator.
Actually, he's wearing a name tag. I just never had a chance to read it.
Oh.
It's JR. That's right. I do that. JR Grows running the scoreboard and listening to us give him grief.
And giving us grief. When we say things that are wrong about the games.
Basically, it's a highly grief-intensive sport.
Or we continue to talk about the game on sheet C when we're supposed to be talking about the
well, you know, Allison, to be honest, if you would like us to shift to D, we probably could do that. Because Allison's asking if we can shift to D.
Yeah, we can shift to D, or because
actually,
of the way
we
the
can see
cameras
both.
work, you
Yeah.
can actually see C and
Alright,
D.
we can see them both.
So
Okay.
from this angle that you're watching right now on the stream,
That's going to
the
be as good as it's going to
The
get.
sheet to the left is sheet D, over by the wall.
Until, of course, they do that.
And so now it's on the right.
We'll keep you as close to a play-by-play on that as we can, Allison. So the situation over on D is Buffington versus Baggett. Buffington is up 1 with Hammer. They are they on Skip Stone? They are actually on Skip Stones over there. Wow. Okay. So we have a Yellowstone on. It's just touching the button, just on the tee. Looks to be. We're at a little bit of an angle here, so I'm not 100% sure. But it looks to me like it's behind at least 75%
we're going to bring
cover.
you a house cam of the house on
We have
sheet
the
D.
house D cam. There's the situation in D. And the red skip is throwing his first stone right now in an attempt to take that out. Apparently it wasn't anywhere near as hidden as I thought because it was just nicely picked out. So now Baggett is preparing to throw his final stone down 1. So he needs this to be a scoring stone. And he needs to put this someplace where red's going to have a hard time getting rid of it. Got to be honest, I'm not sure where that's going to be. I don't know where he can put it.
Oh, okay. Thomas is looking for an update on A.
On A.
We're in the 8th end. Hewer is about to throw his first skip rock.
They are up 1.
They are, yes. Hewer is up 1, and it looks like
Red has shot right now.
Stapera is currently lying 1.
Although this looks like he's trying to execute a raised double to change that. He's got the top. Not quite. Stapera is still lying 1. Hewer did leave a stone that he could do something with there on his final shot, perhaps.
And we have handshakes over on sheet D.
Handshakes over on D, because apparently that his last stone did not quite make it. Unfortunately,
And so that's gonna be a win
Baggett
for
Stone
Buffington.
didn't quite make it. So that's that game, which means that Buffington moves on to play in the C semifinals tomorrow morning.
Most likely against the winner of this Enix-Mulvey game. I would imagine that's the way the draw shakes out.
I'm not 100% certain on that.
Actually, no, because we have the 2 middle ones.
Yeah, it's a cross. So this is not the defeat for the opponent. Mulvey tries to bury the stone, doesn't quite do it. Stapera over on sheet A, throwing his first skip stone. So basically, it looks like he's trying to put up a guard. Wrecks a guard. Puts that in there. So right now, we're getting ready to throw the last skip stones. Arthur Hewer looking, he's currently up 1.
Yeah, he had the raise.
But now it has to be a
double raise. But the guard that Stapera crashed on was a yellow guard, so it does just stack up 2 in line.
Yeah, the geometry's
So
there.
it's still there.
It's a straight hit. If he hits that top one on the nose, I think it works.
And they're both relatively short raises. So
yeah, if he hits that first one on the nose with enough speed, it goes. It's just a matter of if he can throw the shot. So he's working on that. He's in the hack right now, lining up to do this. Okay, the stone is on its way.
The stone is on the way, so we're going to cut over to that house cam on A.
Okay, this is the A house cam we're showing you right now. Stone's about halfway down the ice. The sweepers are on it pretty hard. He's looking to do a nose double raise. I don't think he's got it. No, he's got too much of the inside. His shot is just going to kind of go through there and do something with that. I don't think that makes a difference in the situation, really.
Not entirely. It does add another stone out counting that red back there. Just makes it that much harder for red to try to get a 2, I guess.
Well, no, because actually what red's trying to do, red's got the 1 locked up, so we're definitely going to at least have another skips rock. If right now it looks like Stepera is trying to draw into the house, which would be a draw for 2 and would win the game. He has to draw into the house. He basically has to touch 4. He has to touch red. And meanwhile, they're just exchanging hits right now over on C. So we'll keep you up to date on that as the yellow team of Mulvey tries to eliminate the last couple stones to take Enixon out. Okay, this last stone is on the way. Like I said, it was a draw. He needs to get that 4-foot. The sweepers are not even touching it yet. There they go. Needs to get past the guard. I don't think it's past the guard. I think it's going to tip the guard. Yep, it taps the guard. So we are going to a skips draw over on A.
We're going to have draws to the button for a spot in the finals.
Yes, we are. And actually, Arthur Hewer won his last game by a draw to the button. So he's basically mastering the draw to the button shot right now.
Yeah, was that the one, like the 5 o'clock game over on C? Yeah, I did watch that before. So.
Okay, Connor Mulvey throwing basically just a naked take to try to, he's just in get the heck rid of stones mode. I think this overcurled. Did that pick something? That picked something. I don't know what that did. That took that out. That wasn't what Connor had in mind. Absolutely not. That's okay. All right, so over here on A, like I was saying, we're getting ready to do a skips draw for the win. The way this works, for those of you that have not seen this before, both skips will throw 1 stone. It can be swept by their team, trying to get it as close to the button as possible. Because Arthur Hewer would have the last rock if there was a 9th end, he gets to choose whether to go first or second. He has chosen to go second. So Stepera is going to throw his first. We'll then take a measurement real quick and then clear the ice for Arthur to throw his. Closest to the button wins. If they both miss the house, they'll throw again. If they both tie, they'll throw again. Right now, we're showing you the skips draw on sheet A for the win. Mariclo?
Oh, yes, this is Jack Stepera versus Arthur Hewer. It's a B event semifinal here in the Cherry Blossom. Also going on is the last few stones over on sheet C of Stephen Enixon versus Connor Mulvey, and that is a C event quarterfinal.
Enixon has 2 stones remaining. He has to get to force a tie. He's got a stone up the top of the 12 that might be counting, although I think it's just outside the rings.
This is looking like a pretty nice draw for Jack Stepera. They're going to need to drag that pretty hard, but it's got the line.
It's definitely got line. It's
it's
measurable, but it's just, oh, they actually kicked it before a measure, so they say it's not in the house.
Or they're just assuming that anything that beats it won't need to be measured.
Yeah, well, there's a point there. So basically, Arthur Hewer has to touch paint.
Yes, convincingly touch paint.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that one was a biter, but I would agree that you will know as soon as this rock stops whether it beats it or not, basically.
Yeah, well, or if we don't.
If we don't, then I guess we have to throw it again.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a... Oh, okay.
Yeah. So right now, Connor Mulvey throwing his last stone. He's up 2. Right now, Enixon's got 2 biters.
Yeah.
I think Mulvey's going to try to take them both. It's there. It's doable. It's tight. Okay, Arthur's draw is on the way. He's got everybody coming in. He's got 3 brooms on it.
Yeah, they can't hurt it.
I'm not sure this has the mustard.
And that's going to be well
No, that's
short.
not there. They both missed the house. Even though Arthur missed it by more, you
they
do it
both
again
missed?
because
Okay.
anything that misses the house is a 73.
Right. I wasn't convinced that Jax actually missed the house, but if they all say that it
they
did,
said
then
it did.
they all say that it did.
Yep.
'cause We are not
And
officials here in
that
the booth.
is the hit. It does not take it out. We may be looking at a skip straw over here on C because
yeah,
Steven
Steven
Enixon
has
is
the
going to
draw
throw the
for
hammer,
2 for the time.
and all he has to do is touch paint.
Saturday night curling is turning into Saturday morning
morning curling.
Sunday morning skip
Sunday
straws.
morning skip straws. So, okay, we're on A right now
We're
in
just-
round 2, or if you prefer, the
Yeah,
10th
that's
end.
That's all right. We need to get the sky cam in here, but in the
Okay,
meantime,
Stepera's stone is on its way.
we will show you the 8th rock for Enixon on sheet C.
Is that what we're doing? Okay.
That's where the cameras are pointed at the moment.
Okay, Stepera, wow. He missed the house clean, and then he puts
And
up a
then he
0.
covers the pin.
That's on the
with
pin.
a 0.
That's a 0, boys and girls. So Arthur, if Arthur Hewer's stone does
Doesn't
not
cover
cover
the
the
pin.
pin, this one's over. Here comes that draw by Steven Enixon. In my opinion, it looks kind of hefty. I think that has too much grease
Tanya Mulvey on it, trying
on
to slip
it,
out
and
the
yep,
back,
that's
and
through
it
the
is
house.
out
That
the
ends
back.
that. So
Connor
Enixon takes
Mulvey.
one.
Connor Mulvey's team will be your 4th C event quarterfinalist.
Exactly.
As we bring you over here to Arthur Hewer's tiebreaker draw to the button,
Which has to
and he
be
actually has
on
to put it
the
on
button.
the pin.
The speed looks promising. Might be heavy. The sweepers aren't they're touching it now. It's oh! No, the sweepers wanted to, but they got called off, and it was an inch short. Oh.
So in the tiebreaker on A, we had both skips miss the house, and then both on the button, but just one more on the button than the other.
Exactly. Arthur did not cover the pin, whereas Stepera did. So Stepera will be moving on to the B event final, which will be on sheet C tomorrow morning, or tomorrow at noon.
Wow.
You don't
so
get-
it goes from 73 to 73 to
0
to
versus
1.
1, because you don't get any closer than that. Yeah. You don't get any closer than one touching the pin and the other one just not quite. So that actually does in fact wrap this up. I think there's nobody else throwing stones, right? Okay, we're done.
There's no stones in play, no games going on, and no more draws.
It's 1:45 in the morning. I'm going home. We'll see y'all here tomorrow morning for the C event semifinals, followed by all event finals. The C event finals are at 9. All event finals are at noon. And have a great night. Good night.